Welcome to Weekly Biblical Encouragement. This week let's start off with some verses. 2 others, who were criminals, were led away to be put to death with him. And when they came to the place that is called the Skull, there they crucified him, and the criminals, one on his right and one on his left. And Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they cast lots to divide his garments. And the people stood by, watching, but the rulers scoffed at him, saying, He saved others, let him save himself, if he is the Christ of God, his chosen one. The soldiers also mocked him, coming up and offering him sour wine and saying, If you are the King of the Jews, save yourself. There was also an inscription over him, This is the King of the Jews. One of the criminals who were hanged railed at him, saying, Are you not the Christ? Save yourself and us. But the other rebuked him, saying, Do you not fear God, since you are under the same sentence of condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we are receiving the due reward of our deeds, but this man has done nothing wrong. And he said, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And he said to him, Truly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise. It was now about the 6th hour, and there was darkness over the whole land until the 9th hour, while the sun's light failed. And the curtain of the temple was torn in two. Then Jesus, calling out with a loud voice, said, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. And having said this he breathed his last. Now when the centurion saw what had taken place, he praised God, saying, Certainly this man was innocent. Luke 23:32-47 Today is Good Friday, the day that Jesus Christ died for you and me. For the disciples Good Friday was not such a happy day. They all felt fear, because Jesus had just been killed and they had been with him for 3 years. He did this for us, he wants to know us and dwell with us forever. In this passage, Jesus saves one of the men who was crucified beside him. He said, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus said to him, Truly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise. There was no prayer recorded, it was the faith of the man that saved him. For someone on a cross to say something and to breath they have to pull themselves up on the nails through their wrist and feet. I believe that if we could see what Jesus went through on the cross that we would not call this Good Friday. We would tell everyone we come in contact with about what he did for us. The only thing we have to do to be saved is believe that he died for our sins, rose again for us and ask him to come into our hearts. Even in our last breath we can declare him king of our hearts, or we can be like the man to the other side of Jesus who didn't believe enough to call on him to save his soul. He was more worried about his earthly body. So which one will you be? Will you trust in him or will you deny him even with your dying breath? So, if you don't know him, this would be a great time to come to know him.